Hey, welcome back to Club Junkies. What's in the bag for League Night? This is week 20, which is the final week. The final official week of League is here, and it's kind of sad. I can't believe 20 weeks went by so fast. We had very few rainouts, I think maybe one, if any, and yeah, it's just officially done. So the regular season technically is done. I came in 8th place out of 24 guys, and really I was actually like top 3. I think I was in first place for a while. And then between vacation and some work trips, I missed like 5 weeks right out of the gate. So unfortunately, I did not win. Came in 8th place. I played really well. I had one of the highest point totals in terms of average every week. Just missed too many weeks and couldn't pull it off. So it would have been cool to see where it would have stood had I been there all the time for all the weeks. But unfortunately, that just isn't the case. So anyway, it was a good week. It was an okay week. I shot 40. And really, I started out terrible. I started out with a double bogey right off the gate, hit a terrible drive, caught a tree limb, fell down, had like 200 yards or 185 yards, I don't remember exactly, into the green on one, and then didn't hit a great shot, left a little bit short, had to chip it on, all that. It was just one of those holes where it was not a great start. But after that, I hit the ball all right. Hit driver well for most of the night on 8. Hit a great drive down there. Had just a 7-wood into the par 5. That's the longest hole in the course. And I just missed the green left. It kind of fell into a terrible spot. Like on the 8th hole, there's a fence that is OB all down the left side. And I hit just a little bit of the hill on the left. It bounced down. And it was kind of in between like the wood chip mulch and the grass and kind of in there. And I didn't get it on the green from there. It was just a bad lie. Chipped it on, ended up making par, but it was kind of a bummer that I was there kind of in 2 and couldn't walk away with at least a birdie. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I putted okay, hit the irons fairly decent after the first hole, and yeah, I just wasn't like on. I wasn't hitting a lot of the greens. I had to chip a lot, things like that. So it was just one of those little struggles, but still shot 40. And I think won the match that I was in, but it was just a little bit of a struggle tonight to get through. But we did. And now our final day is kind of a little more fun thing. Everybody throws a few bucks in. We play a little 4-man scrambles. And the top like 2 or 3 teams split up the money. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's just a lot more casual. So last week was it. But I'm going to keep playing. Unfortunately, I think like next week I'm going to play. And then I have some work stuff coming up in terms of trips. I'm going to be gone the next couple Thursdays. Maybe the final 3 Thursdays in September. So we'll see. I'm going to try to get some golf in and at least get some what's in the bag videos of what I'm playing. Whether it's the weekend, whatever, we'll get you some what's in the bag videos. So we'll jump in this week. Again, this is going to be a scramble playing, I believe, the back 9, which is kind of nice. Hit a few more drivers there. But, of course, speaking of driver, we'll start from the top. And driver this week is going to be the Cobra DS-Adaot X. Now, this is the Volition edition, so this is the one that's all black camo. It doesn't have the usual blue. It's got a cool camo face to it that's kind of laser etched on, and then the top kind of has like this fighter jet type of pattern that actually is pretty sweet. So they did a really nice job with it. I think it looks really, really cool with this whole black finish on the bottom. But we're just going to run it set. This is a 10.5 head, set A1, so nothing too crazy. I know the 10.5 is super hard to read. It's actually done in all black. So we're going to do this thing here. Heavyweight back, 10-gram weight back, 3-gram forward, and just running an A1, so standard 10.5. So then we're going to run this driver. The DS-Adaot has some great ball speed. This is kind of the combination of ball speed, forgiveness, all that. So we're going to run this guy and see how it goes. This is shafted up with a Mitsubishi Tensei 1K Black Limited. I'm not 100% sure. I think the Limited is just actually the graphics. If you look on there up near the handle, it's actually got a little bit of kind of that fighter jet pattern and stuff like that on it, which is pretty cool. But the 1K Black is, of course, their stiffest, lowest launching, lowest spinning profile in the Tensei lineup. I would argue to say that it's probably the lowest launching, lowest spinning in the whole Mitsubishi lineup. But it is definitely the stouter feel. Like this is a stiff flex. It definitely is a little bit stouter than most stiff flexes. Definitely plays firm, but it's still not too harsh or anything like that. Not too boardy. So I've played this before in a couple other shafts in like some Callaway heads and things like that. It's typically not my profile in a sense, but it does play really well for those players who need to control launch and spin. So this is a 65 stiff, just the stock shaft that came in. It's a pretty cool setup. And if you've ever seen these Volitions, it's a really cool setup, and it also has a really cool matching like all black head cover that's pretty awesome as well. So we move into 3-wood, and 3-wood, we are going to jump back to my old GT2. So I've actually had this thing a while. This is a GT2. It's a 16.5-degree head, so it's technically, I guess, a 4-wood head, but it is turned down. It's set to, the hosel on this one is set to D1, so it's down 0.75 degrees, so it's kind of a high lofted 3-wood. It's almost like a 3.5 wood, something like that. But I really like this thing. It was funny when I got fit into it, got it out on the course, didn't really love it right away out on the course, and then when one of my guys tripped 2 years ago or a year ago, I hit it there and hit it really, really well. So shaft-wise, I've switched it since then, but this thing is just, again, a good blend of distance, forgiveness, and high launch, and it's just super easy to hit. It looks good. When you set it down, it just looks kind of like a classics player's 3-wood, but it's got deep enough face. You can hit it off the tee if you need to, but you can still launch it off the deck pretty easily. But overall, I've just been really happy with this one. Haven't played it as much this year. I've just been rotating through a lot of the 3-woods, but very excited to get this back out there. Again, 16.5-degree head, playing D1, and this is shafted up with a Fujikura Ventus TR Red 7X. So yeah, I've been a big fan of the TR series because I like the fact that it's got a little stiffer handle section in them. This one here makes an already fairly stiff handle section of the red even more a little bit stiff. So this one here, I think the TRs are kind of the in-betweens. This one here, I think it plays in between red and blue in the standard Ventus line. So it's still kind of like mid to mid-high launch, mid-spin. Really smooth feel to it, super tight, super consistent, and these TRs have just been kind of, I wouldn't call them underrated because everybody knows everything about the Ventus line, but these ones here have been really solid. So this one here coming in at 42.5 inches, which I think is kind of what it was stock with the graphite design shaft that was in here before. But this is set up to launch a little high, not have a ton of spin, still be super tight, super consistent. So that is the 3-wood setup. Now the next club is usually for me a 7-wood. And this one here, I can't talk about yet. We got to wait about a week to hear more about this one. It is we'll call it a prototype, but it is just a not yet released club that's going to fit in the bag. So it's 21 degrees, I'll tell you that, which is about the same as a 7-wood. But yeah, you got to have to wait about a week to see what that club is. Unfortunately, I can't say anything about it yet. So give it just a little bit of a week, and we'll dive into it more. So then we move into our irons, and we're going to go with 4-iron. And 4-iron, you know what? I thought about playing the Ping IDI, and then I saw this old boy sitting behind it. So we're going Ping iCrossover. So yes, the iCrossover, this thing here is just a really solid, probably one of the better utility irons if you need launch, spin, and forgiveness. This thing just goes high, it goes far, it's fast. Everything about it works really well. Now, does it look, sound, and feel the best? Absolutely not. It's got too much offset. It's kind of clunky in terms of the sound. It's kind of firm feeling, but the thing just flat out performs. It's really, really good. The look to it, again, has a lot of offset. It's got a fairly thick top line. It's a little bulbous, but overall, it just goes. It does have the adjustable hosel on this one. It is set to the, I think it's big minus. Oh, no, is it plus? Because this one isn't pluses or minuses. It's just a little hashtags on here. So I believe it is set to right. So I believe it's up 1 degree. So it might be up 1 degree and flat. From what I remember, it's either up 1 degree or something like that. So I think it's playing 23 degrees. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly. I built this thing up a while ago, and I really haven't switched it since. But I love the fact that this thing off the tee, it's super long. Off the deck, you can throw it high in the air. It lands pretty soft on the greens, and it just overall performs really, really well. I know a lot of people who have tried this thing have been super impressed with what it does out there. So a really good utility, and this is shafted up with an LA Golf A Series. This is the A Series. They call it the low 105. It's the lower launching one. They make some lighter weights that launch higher, but this is the low 105, so 105 grams. This is stiff flex, and even though it's considered a low or labeled as that, I actually launch it more mid. The whole set that I've got of these, this is just an utility, but I've got a set with these in there, and they definitely launch higher than that for me. They're definitely not on the low end. I'll launch like an MMT or a C-tape or something like that, definitely lower than these. But these are really good shafts. They're not quite as heavy and stout as the L series that LA Golf makes. The A series is a little bit more playable, a little easier to launch, a little lighter weight, but still good feel to them. They're smooth, they're solid, they reduce vibration. Everything about them is really, really good. So A series 105 stiff there. And then for the irons, we're going to go 5 through pitching wedge with the PXG 0317Ts. So these are the ones that are actually really compact, really small, but they actually are hollow body. So you cut these in half. There is a little bit of their polyurethane in there. that helps support the face, adds a little speed, and then also allows them to move some weight around to make them more forgiving. These things are super compact, really small, very little offset, thin top line. They kind of bevel that top line up there to make it look even smaller. But these things are really, really good. Forged, soft, everything about it. I think these are some of the most underrated players, kind of players distance, hollow body irons out there. I think not a lot of people give them a shot. One, because they're not in every store, and two, people just don't know about them that much. But these things are really, really good. I was super impressed with these when they first came out. Really solid irons. I love that they kind of have a little trailing edge relief on the bottom there. The turf interaction's pretty good. They've got a little bit of bounce to them. But these things forged, sound good, feel good. Pretty much a mid-launcher. But they definitely play a little bit bigger than they are. So when you look down on them, you might be a little intimidated, but once you go hit them, they definitely have a lot going for them. So really like these irons. Going to play 5 through pitching wedge in these. Then these are shafted up with the same LA Golf A Series low 105s. So yeah, this is the set that has these in here. And tell you what, really good setup here. I really like how these play. They're super accurate. And again, these don't launch as low for me as they're described. So for me, they're definitely a little bit more of a mid-launch or mid-high. So still these hold the green pretty easily, and they have a good smooth feel, super accurate. But these are a really kind of underrated iron when it comes to some of the hollow bodies out there with great feels you would expect from a PXG iron. Now moving to wedges, and wedges, at least for the first one, is going to be gap wedge, and I guess we're going to go into the PXG. I didn't really think about it, but this is my PXG Sugar Daddy 3, kind of my gamer 50 degree. So this is the one I've been playing pretty much the past 2 years as my gamer. Love the spin out of the rough. That's the big thing with this this wedge compared to some of the other wedges I have. Out of the rough, which is kind of thick, long rough here in Michigan, this thing spins great. It just, for whatever reason, adds a little bit more bite on the ball. I feel like the ball has less release out of it from those conditions. Off the fairway, it probably spins as much as other wedges, but this thing here out of the fairway or out of the rough, for whatever reason, just it spins a whole lot. So they feel great. They're soft, fully milled. Everything about them really, really nice. So I like these wedges a lot. This is a 50-10S grind, so kind of the fuller sole on here, but gets through the turf really well, and even in the soft conditions, you know, doesn't dig or anything like that. And this is shafted up with a Project X Wedge 6.0 shaft. So this is Project X's wedge shaft that is basically the same weight as the Project X 6.0, which is 120 grams, but they make it just a little bit softer to flex. So it's got a little bit more feel to it because you're probably not taking as big of swings, as full of shots with it. So it's going to offer a little feel, a little bit more feedback than a regular Project X 6.0, and some people like that softer feeling, so they may go to a 5.5, but then you lose a little bit of weight. So this is basically built to match up if you play a Project X shaft. So a good setup there. I've really liked these a lot, and I've usually match it up with a couple other PXGs and stuff. But instead, we've broken out some wedges that I haven't played in a while that I've absolutely loved at the end of last year. And for the sand wedge, we are going to go the Ping S159s. This is a 5610 H grind, so it's got a little bit of trailing edge relief, bounces kind of pushed back, a little bit of heel and toe relief as well. This thing actually plays really well with the bunker. It's pretty versatile. And even though it even says 10 degrees of bounce on it, it seems like it plays a little bit more than that. But good amount of relief if you're somebody who plays a lot of sand wedge shots, likes to open the face, play different types of shots around the green. I think it's super versatile, and it just allows you to kind of hit those different shots. They feel great. This tight spin pattern or tight groove pattern here offers a ton of spin out of all the types of conditions. And I like the leading edge is only just slightly rounded. It's pretty darn straight, not a lot of offset. These are probably the best looking Ping wedges I think Ping's ever made. So kudos to them, and they perform really well. They feel soft. Everything about them I think is really, really solid. So 56H10, and then this one here is shafted up with just the stock Ping ZZ115 shaft. So this is a Nippon wedge shaft that they made, and I believe it's probably a version of the Nippon Modus 115 or the 115 wedge. It's probably a version of that, but really good feel to it, very consistent. And I've liked this thing a lot. So it also has the kind of a longer Ping grip on it, so you can choke down without getting too close to the shaft or anything like that. But a great sand wedge, plays really well. Whether it's bunker, fairway, rough, all that, it does it all really well. And then the 60 degree is going to be its sibling, which is the Ping S159. But this is the 6008 B grind. So the B grind is kind of like, I'll call it a little bit like a low bounce K. It's got a wider sole here, a little bit of heel relief for the wide sole, and no low bounce, so 8 degrees. But when you open it up, it still plays out of the bunker well. You can still open it up on some tighter lies. The leading edge does come up just a little bit, But again, here we're playing softer, more lush conditions, so I don't have to worry about that as much. Out of the softer conditions we have, I can open it up as much as I need to, in a sense. I'm not hitting the wide open Phil Mickelson flop shot very often, and if I am, I'm in pretty much trouble anyway. So this thing is built really well here. But I was a little, when I first got this, I didn't think it was going to be kind of anything I would be into. And the more I've hit it, the more I've been kind of impressed with it. It really has played really well, and definitely something that works well in these kind of softer, lusher conditions up here. And again, turf interaction. I don't hit many full shots with a 60, but it definitely doesn't want to dig when you're out there hitting shots. So really solid here. Again, good spin out of it. And this has the same Ping ZZ115 shaft in it. Again, really like the feel on it. It's very accurate, really consistent. So those are the wedges. And then for putter, we are going to break out a new putter I got. And this is the Scotty Cameron studio style Catalina 2, or Catalina. I keep wanting to say Catalina 2. I've got an old Catalina 2, but this is just the standard Catalina. It's kind of like a Newport body that's a little bit wider, and it's got the softer bumpers on it. On the back here, I'm trying to do this in my basement with softer bumpers on there. It's a little bit more rounded. But this one does not have, the traditional like plumber's neck or slant neck. It's got a single bend in it, which gives it, just a little bit of toe hang, not too much, but kind of a unique look to it. So, and if you probably noticed on the bottom, I've got some aftermarket 25-gram weights in there. I just wanted to try something a little bit heavier, so I just kind of jumped online real quick and got those. They literally came in today. So slapped them in there and went from 20-gram weights to 25s. This is a 33-inch putter, so a little bit heavy. Appreciate the folks at Titleist stamping the old BK initials in there. But I've liked this putter a lot. I've played one round with it so far. I like the soft feel. That carbon chain link fence in there, or chain link insert, really gives it a nice soft feel to it. Puts a good roll in the ball. So I really liked it when I played it. I just wanted it maybe a touch heavier, so got some heavier weights in there. And let's go take it. I like it so far down here. In my basement, I've kind of been putting a little bit with it, and I like to feel better at this weight than before. So I'm hoping that we'll see some good results in the course. And then this thing here just has kind of the red studio design grip on it, so kind of wind style. The little dots and everything on it are kind of nice. They have a good feel, give you a little bit of traction. And this size here, a little bit bigger than I usually play. I've been playing the kind of smaller grips, so slightly bigger, but actually fits in the hands really well. I like the feel of it, and it's just a putter I really like. I've always been a big fan of the Catalina 2, and I'm liking this one so far in terms of the look. So that is putter for the round, and that is the what's in the bag for the final week 20 of Club Junkie's What's in the Bag. So again, I'm not going to be done to completely. Probably winter before it actually makes me stop going out and playing, or at least get much cooler. But that is the bag. So hopefully the final round will be good. Hopefully we can win a couple bucks here in the old scramble. But come back next week. I'm still going to put a what's in the bag together. It may be just for my weekend round or whatever, but I will definitely have another what's in the bag. So find out next week, and I'll let you know how this setup went, if we won any money, anything like that. But we'll let you know.